committee hearings last year.
Do you know how it feels to have the President of the United States to target you? The President of the United States is supposed to represent every American, not to target one, but he targeted me. I won't even introduce myself by my name anymore. I get nervous when I bump into someone I know in the grocery store who says my name. I'm worried about who's listening. I get nervous when I have to give my name for food orders. I'm always concerned of who's around me. I've lost my name and I've lost my reputation.
I no longer give out my business card. I don't transfer calls. I don't want anyone knowing my name. I don't go to the grocery store at all. I haven't been anywhere at all. I've gained about 60 pounds. I just don't do nothing anymore. I don't want to go anywhere. I second guess everything that I do.
How you doing? My name is Antonio. My page is Unapologetically Black ADOS. I ask that you like and subscribe to the page, and I ask that you share this video and spread this content. We're having a discussion about black women not being submissive to black men, and black men have to identify the areas and actions we do that make black women feel uncomfortable being solely dependent on black men, right? So first of all, I want you to understand, as a black man, to support Donald Trump is demasculating and is a betrayal to your own people, and is a betrayal to your manhood. And the reason why I say this is because of the way he has attacked black women. As a black man, your primary responsibility is to be a protector and a provider. So for him to be able to continuously attack black women in the way that he does, and then expect support from some black men, should be insulting to you as black men. He should have enough respect for you, if he wants your support, to respect your black women, regardless of their politics. Due to the fact that you do not demand this from other people, you are not being respected by your own black women.
About kneeling NFL players.
Get that son of a bitch off the field.
And we've talked a lot about the sexist things he said, too. The Access Hollywood tape, of course, comes to mind.
Grab him by the I can do anything.
But it's time we talk about where those two bigotries collide, because more and more lately, black women have been facing the brunt of the president's belligerence, especially those in the White House press corps, like American Urban Radio Network's correspondent April Ryan, who made the mistake of asking him a question on Wednesday.
Sit down, please. Sit down. I didn't call you. I didn't call you. Excuse me. Excuse me. Would you please sit down?
And again at the same press conference with PBS correspondent Yamiche Alcindor.
On the campaign trail, you called yourself a nationalist. Some people saw that as emboldening white nationalists. Now people are also
I don't
saying
know why you'd
that
say
the
that.
president.
It's such a racist
There are
question.
some people.
To say that, what you said is so insulting to me. It's a very terrible thing that you said.
A racist question? I think the president doth project too much, because the racist part of all that wasn't the question, it was the response.
If we had our own media and access to these things, that's the only thing any black man supposed to have been asking him from that point on. Do you think it was appropriate for you to talk to them black women that way? That's the only thing we were supposed to talk. Do you think that that was appropriate for you to speak to our black professional women in that manner? Knowing our history, our race relations in America, do you find that acceptable? If he say, yeah, you understand who he is and what he is. If you roll with someone as a black man, especially if you still a Republican, and you cannot distance yourself or defend your own people, then you are a sellout. It's not just because you're a Republican, it's because you refuse to stand on principles. We're not saying you a black Republican, you a sellout. We saying you a black man who not understanding that you're a black man first, and you're not standing up for your people first, so you're not being a Republican in order to benefit your people. That what that tells us. Because if you was, you would stand up for them insulting black women. And it's a continuing pattern.
Just like his response to CNN's Abby Phillip when she asked about the new acting attorney general, Matthew Whitaker.
Do you want him to rein in Robert Mueller?
What a stupid question that is. What a stupid question. But I watch you a lot. You ask a lot of stupid questions.
It is obviously not a stupid question, which is why he didn't actually answer it or any of the questions these women asked him. That's why their fellow journalist Brooke Baldwin spoke out on CNN.
There is something so wrong with this. It is beyond disturbing. It is ugly, and I'm angry. They can take these insults. They don't need me sticking up for them, but still.
And I'm angry too, because of course, these are not the first times the president has belittled women of color.
And to be honest, what angers me other than Roland Martin, I've seen no other black journalists speak on this, his disrespect of black women. I've seen no other black man focus on this. So those who are so-called journalists and in that space as black men, I'm looking at you a certain way when I don't see you address these type of issues. Right? And I'm calling into question your loyalty. I'm calling into question your manhood. When defending your black women is not an automatic response, I call into question your manhood. That's what I do. That's how I look at you as a black man. I look at you as weak. If you're in a position to speak up or you can't speak up because you worried about your job, then I look at you as weak because that's what you are, and don't be surprised that your black women look at you as weak and powerless. This is why building our own infrastructures is always so important, because you got to accept the dehumanization of your own people in order to be on their platform, in order to have your so-called prestigious job at CNN or ABC. And this is why black women don't respect you. So for these reasons, this is why as a black man, we cannot say we will support a Donald J. Trump. You are directly attacking black women, right? The backbone of the black community. So how can we as black men give you any type of support or empower you in any way when you shown you have no regard for the humanity of our sisters? Even if you was to try to compromise with us as black men, if you have no regard for the humanity of our black women, then we cannot deal with you at all, period. And any black man that's speaking on supporting Donald Trump, seeing how he is disrespectful to black women, then you do not deserve the respect of a black woman. You do not deserve the respect of your fellow black man.
He's also repeatedly called California Congresswoman Maxine Waters a low IQ individual. He's called Oprah very insecure. Oprah insecure? And he called Georgia gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams unqualified, just to name a few.
To say that, what you said, is so insulting to me. It's a very terrible thing that you said.
Insulting?
If we had our own media and access to these things, that's the only thing any black man supposed to have been asking him from that point on. Do you think it was appropriate for you to talk to them black women that way? That's the only thing we were supposed to talk. Do you think that that was appropriate for you to speak to our black professional women in that manner? Knowing our history, our race relations in America, do you find that acceptable? If he say, yeah, you understand who he is and what he is. If you roll with someone as a black man, especially if you're still a Republican and you cannot distance yourself or defend your own people, then you are a sellout. It's not just because you're a Republican, it's because you refuse to stand on principles. We're not saying you a black Republican, you a sellout. We saying you a black man who not understanding that you're a black man first and you're not standing up for your people first, so you're not being a Republican in order to benefit your people. That's what that tells us. Because if you was, you would stand up for them insulting black women. And it's a continuing pattern.